Good morning. This is Scheets from Stampin' with Sushi, and I have had a malfunction on my phone, which is what I usually do my videos with, and I kept trying and I can't erase the malfunction. So I'm on my iPad, so it's going to look a lot different this morning, but I think we can get through it, don't you? So today is the day that we're going to put together our pop-up swing card. So I'm going to switch the camera, and the view will be a lot different. So I'm going to just put objects in front of the screen. So these are your supplies that you need to have ready to go. Your card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Your neutral layer, which should be 5 by 8, and scored at 2, 4, and 6 inches. Designer paper, that's 5 1/4 by 4, and 2 shapes of dies that are very close together in size. Stitch So Sweetly is the set I got these dies from. You take your smaller die and cut a shape from it with a coordinating cardstock. And then this is an optional thing, but you can cut 2 strips. It's better to have them and decide you don't want them than wish you had them and not have them cut. But a different designer paper cut at 1 3/4 by 4 3/4. And then, of course, as usual, saying and embellishments. So the first thing that we're going to do is take the card base and the designer paper, these two, and they're just 1/4 inch different. But the first thing you want to do is glue them together, but you're going to glue just on the edges, just on the edges. You want it to stick to this part of the card. All right, I'm going to have to pause a minute and go get my charger, because now, of course, this is dying. But you know what? Even though things are going wrong, we can make it through this, right? Okay, I've got it hooked up to the charger, so nothing should happen. So once again, you're going to put adhesive all around your designer paper, but just on the outside. So I'm going to do that. You might not be able to see everything I'm doing because of the angle with my iPad. Of course, I had everything laid out. Oh, here we go, over here. Okay, and I'm using the Stampin' Seal, which I love, and I think I've mentioned before in another video, I have totally figured out the right way to use it so it works all the time, and that is gentle. So I hardly have any pressure at all, and I'm getting a nice clean line of adhesive. When I was using all my energy before, it kept stopping and winding up on each other and all kinds of problems. So I learned that gentle does it. Probably true with most everything. Okay, so now I'm going to lay this, and I just did the edges. So I'm going to lay it on my cardstock base, and it looks like that. So now you're going to need your cutting machine and your largest shape. So here are the two I have, and I've picked the largest, and I'm going to put my cutting machine here on the table. And it's giant. Look how big it is. But I can explain what you're going to do, and then do it, and you might not always see what I'm going to do. But So I've got my base here. And all I'm going to do is cut this bigger shape out of just the front of my card. Let me hold it up so you can see it. So I'm going to center my bigger shape on my card front, and I've started keeping some painter's tape on the top part of my cutting machine, and just putting a little bit on there so it doesn't move. It won't cut, but all right, so now I'm going to lay the top on there. And run it through the machine. So here I go. Okay, I'm going to take the machine off so I can show you what's happened here. And this is what I have now. I have the card front, and I have this piece that I've taken out. I'm going to set that aside for right now. And when you close up your card, that's what it looks like. All right, so the next thing we need is our neutral paper. Right here. So you have it scored in 3 places. So the one on the far right, you're going to fold like a valley fold. Crease it really well. And then these two are going to make like a little box. And this is the only part we're concerned with right now. And what we're going to do is get adhesive on the back of this and place it with a border around it right on the far right of your card, like that. The rest of this is free, it doesn't have glue on it, and it's not attached to the front or anything like that. So I'm going to do that right now. And you can glue this, you know, all the way, because it's going to stay in this position. So once again, you're going to lay your cardstock so it has a border, and the only part that's stuck is your first little 2-inch section. All right? Now the next thing you're going to do is put this over to the side, and you're going to put a strip of sticky strip or tape right here, and you only want it on the inside part right next to where you cut out your frame, right here. So I'm going to do that with sticky strip, because this is the part that's going to move, so you might want to have it with something that's stickier. And I love this tear and tape because you don't have to worry about cutting it. You can just tear it, press it down really well, get your tool, and you can pick up a bit of it, and boom, it all comes off, and then you get your strip in the trash. All right, so this is where the magic comes in. So what you're going to do is, let's see if I remember. All right, so you have your first fold that's glued, and you're going to do an accordion fold. You're going to lay the rest of your card flat here, and you're going to close your card. And when you open it, you have your pop-up. And the only part of your pop-up that's glued is right in here. Now, I did an error, and you want your glue not to be any wider than your cardstock. So I've got one of these old tools, an adhesive remover. Now my sister said you can get these at Dollar Tree for $1, but Stampin' Up! Does not sell them anymore. So it's worth checking out and seeing and getting yourself one, because oh my gosh, if you're like me, you make little boo-boos everywhere, like that one. So I've got all my extra glue off. All right. So this is what your card should look like right now. When it's closed, and then when you pull it open, you've got this little platform, and you've got a piece right here. Now we're going to work on the front part. So now you're going to need your little piece that you cut with the smaller die, and it's going to go right here. But where is it going to be glued? It's going to be glued on the left part. So when you flip this over, I'm sorry, that's the right, isn't it? So the only part that's going to be glued is the right part, because you need the left part free. So put some glue, you know, in the half of it that's on the left. I'm going to try my seal. And I'm just going to put 2 small strips like that. And then I'm going to position it so it's evenly in the opening. Oops, let me make sure you can see this. So I'm positioning it so it's evenly in the opening, and press it. And when you open it, there you go. When you close it, it moves to a flat position, but that's because you have nothing on this part. If I can remake this video later in the day, I will definitely do it, because I'm sure you're having a hard time seeing what I'm doing. All right, so now we can place our 2 little pieces right here. So you can see why you might not want to put them in here, but I kind of like that look, and I might put another smaller piece of white on this side so I can write my message here. But I'm going to get these glued in, or I might just put 1. Let's just put 1, and then if I want to, I can put the other one later. So that goes in this section right here. And now I'm ready to get something on the front. Now this is something I discovered that is so awesome. So I knew I wanted to use some of the leaves and things from the designer paper, and I really didn't want to have to do any stamping. I've had a busy week, and I thought, you know, I don't really want to do any stamping. So just for the heck of it, I took some of the dies, and I realized not every branch, but one of the dies cuts this out. So I cut out 2 of those. Another die cuts this out. Where is it? This one. And then I didn't have a chance to cut any, but I found that a third die cuts these out. So isn't that awesome? Something I didn't even realize, and here the paper is almost discontinued, but you could actually use some of the dies that coordinate with a stamp set to cut out some of the designer paper. So I'm going to attach these on my green. put one right there. And put one of these right here. And the other one right here. So now this is what, and I'll get a saying in here somewhere. So this is what the front of the card looks like, and you open it up, and then you see this in the inside, as well as designer paper and a saying. I think I'll do my saying in white, so I think I'll get this one in there. So isn't that a fun card? Now here's the one that I made and showed you on Tuesday that I did with the paper pumpkin kit. So I used some of the components of the paper pumpkin kit, and then when you open the card, I put some of the designer paper that coordinated, and then my saying is happy, happy birthday 16 for my grandson that turned 16. So anyway, this is how you put together a pop-up flip card. And what I will do is, hopefully on my phone I can get another video going. But thank you for watching, and have a great weekend, and come back Monday when I explain my online card kit of the month and my new focus of the month and a simple card. All that on Monday. So I will see you later. Bye-bye.